What's going on, guys? And this one, this one was very good. This one was very good. And this another one. You guys wouldn't even think this was on my radar because you never see. I did do a reaction video to one of the trailers, but it got copyright claimed, so you never got to see it. But yes, this is my review of the movie Night Swim. This is a Blumhouse production. I'm pretty sure this was Blumhouse. Yep, Blumhouse. From James Wan. From James Wan, the producer of The Nun, and Blumhouse from the producer of Megan. All right. No wonder it was good. But yeah, this is my review of Night Swim. So to set the tone here, we're introduced to the Wallace family. That's not how the movie begins, but the main characters I want to give you are the Wallace family. Ray, the husband, who was a former Major League Baseball player, and who suffers from a progressive debilitating disease. And the reason why I mention that, because that is a key point in this movie. And what this movie pertains to is debilitating diseases. That's one of the key points anyway. But he got a progressive debilitating disease that's so progressive that it's forced him to retire early. Anyway, he's very. It's like you could tell that he's nowhere near retirement age, but it forces him to retire early. Ray is played by Wyatt Russell, aka John Walker from The Falcon and Winter Soldier, who eventually went from Captain America to U.S. Agent, and he does a good job in this movie. And while we introduced to Ray, who's aka John Walker, we are introduced to Ray, his wife Eve, and his children Izzy and Elliot. And this movie starts with the pool. Or in 1992, we're introduced to a different family, the Fuller family, and we're introduced to them, and we're seeing that the Fuller family also has a person, in this case, the son, who has a debilitating progressive disease, and I think his is cancer. I want to say, or something. It was something of the fact he was bedridden, and he was pretty much guaranteed to die because of the illness. We're introduced to them, and we're introduced to the sister Rebecca, the older sister, who sees something in the pool, something that belongs to her brother, and she wants to get it for her brother to make her brother feel better. Strange events start happening. Something happens, and thus the pool comes. Thus we get the movie, I should say. I had to stop myself because I didn't want to give away too much of that. But yeah, so basically she goes to the pool to get it. Something happens, and thus that sets the motion on what we are to expect from this movie. So then now we're introduced to the Fuller family, and even though I just wanted you to get to know the main characters, but this is where you actually are introduced inside the movie to the Wallace family of Ray and all them, and they're looking for a new house, due to his progressive disease. He forced to retire. They had to find a new house, and they come upon the house that they looked at. They really wasn't feeling it. And then they come across the former house to the Fuller family, and they take to it instantly. It has a pool, and he could they want the house because he needs the pool, because part of his physical therapy is that he needs to be in the water to do physical therapy exercises. So they want that house, and thus we get our movie here. And now the house needs a little bit of work because it hasn't been taken care of a little bit, so they have to clean up the house, clean up the pool. Stuff starts to happen, weird stuff, There's a part when they clean out the pool and Ray gets hurt and the pool fills up and the pool filled up with like dirty water, and they come to find out that this is the most important part here. This is another key reason why we get what we getting is they find out from the pool people who cleans the pools that the pool is built upon a natural self-sustaining spring. So like basically they're told that this area where this house is that used to just be, I guess, like a spring or a lake or whatever, and the houses in this area was built, and they built the pool over this spring, or the pool is connected to the spring, and that the waters and the properties of the spring will actually bubble up through the hole that's in the ground into the water, meaning that you can fill, even if you fill it up with clean water, the spring water will actually mix in with it anyway. So therefore, and then as we progress through the movie, we find out that the water is not only just a self-sustaining spring. That's not the only thing about this water that's special. There's something else that's special about this water, but it comes at a price. And throughout the movie, you start to see that Ray, for some reason, even though having a progressive, debilitating disease, is going in the opposite direction. He goes from being sick and getting progressively worse to being progressively better. But as time goes on, Eve starts to see the weird change in her husband, and accompanied by the weird instances where both her and the children are attacked by an unseen entity. They start to suspect that something is not right, and thus we get a movie where things do not go as planned and things have to be found out. That's part of the things that they find out, is that there's something else special about the water other than being a self-sustaining spring. And the Fuller family is tracked down. To me, that's one of the best parts of this movie, is when they track down the former family, or where the mother does, and she learns about this. And you see the reason why this part is like so good is because you find out the full sinisterness. Like you could tell something is sinister, but you don't get the full sinister of this entity until you see this. Until you see this particular scene, and you're like, holy crap. And then that scene in the beginning, they re-show it, and they show you how it fully went down and why it went down the way it did. Because when I first seen it, it left me with the question, like, nobody's going to do anything? Like, I know somebody heard this, but then now when you get to this scene, it shows why nothing happened. So with that being said, this is a good, scary thriller. It has some jump scares. I feel that was probably like my only gripe with this, is that it wasn't enough jump scares. It wasn't enough scary moments with the entity. But the ones that we do get, they sorely do. They sorely are jump scares. They sorely are scary. I also like the fact that the one thing I will say, I like how in the movie, when it comes to the entity, when you're in the water, it would mess with you in a way that it should be obvious that it's messing with you, but it takes a minute for the characters to realize it was the entity messing with them. And what I mean by it is, when you're in the water, especially if you're underneath the water and you look up at it, if you look up, you will see you would think you see, oh, okay, that's my brother, oh, that's my father, oh, that's my mother. But then when you come up, they're not there, and then you're like, what the heck just happened? Like, that way of messing with you, you would think, for me, I would nope it out of there. Because if I'm underwater and I look up, I'm in the water, I look up and I see my mother, and then I come up out the water and my mother's somehow impossibly not there, I don't see her running off nowhere, she just poof, like she was just gone. And that's how the movie gets you, because you're wondering, like, what's wrong with these people? Did they not just see the fact that they were just clearly still looking. As you're rising up out of the water, you're looking at your people, and they're not there anymore. Like, come on now. But in all, I talked about this movie enough. I'm going to give this movie. No, I'm questioning myself, so it's not an 8. It's not a 9, not a 10. It's a 7. I'm going to give it a 7. Yeah, because I'm going to give it a 7. But do I want to give it a 7? I'm questioning myself again. But that's only this time. It's not that if it's worthy of a 7. It's that do I think it's a 7.5 or it's a 7? It's a 7. So I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 big ups because this movie was very good. I recommend it. It suffers for the same thing as The Beekeeper. It wasn't very well marketed, but it's a sleeper good movie. Just like The Beekeeper, it was a sleeper good movie. I know I gave The Beekeeper like a 7.5, and that's why I gave this a 7 because it's not as good as The Beekeeper, but it's just there with it. But you let me know in the comments down below if you've seen the movie, what you thought, and if you enjoy my review. You know what to do. I finally got it right. I said review. Bam! For all of my movie reviews. And if you enjoyed the video so much, you want to support the channel, you know what to do, guys. Hit those buttons. And as always, hit you on these videos for more of my amazing content. But don't go anywhere. You know I got more. I got more combat and a reaction coming your way. A few reactions, probably. Peace.